Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I am going to be going over the changes for patch 10.2.6 for Holy Priest PvP, and I'm going to be offering my opinions and going over the new talents that I've been playing and that I've been having success with, and basically sharing my thoughts on the whole patch. And yeah, I'm going to dive straight into it, and I'm going to initially go over all the changes and then share my opinions, and then I'm going to switch over to my new talents and go through the talent tree. I am just going to say though that this is going to be less of an in-depth guide compared to my other one, which was for patch 10.2.5, and I really recommend that you go and watch that guide if you haven't already before you watch this, because everything's still relevant, and then you can come back to here and then see the small changes that have been made. And yeah, so I'm going to dive straight into it and go through the changes. So the first change was Leap of Faith no longer interrupts spell cast from the ally it was used on. So this is pretty nice. So if a warlock is casting Chaos Bolt, but you need to grip them to safety, then they will still cast Chaos Bolt. So that's a nice little buff, whereas before it would cancel it. The next change is MP Real Blaze has been redesigned. So how this worked before, it was an ability that you pressed in advance, and then you would have a 30-second buff on you where the next 3 holy fires that you press will be instant cast. But they've redesigned it now, so it's a passive ability and not one you press. And basically every time that you chastise, whether this is a stun or an incap, your next 2 casts of holy fire will be instant, cost no mana, and have no cooldown. So this is a fine change. I mean, if you're playing stun, you're going to be wanting to deal damage into the stun anyway. So it's just a nice way of getting rid of a button to press, to be honest. So yeah, I welcome that change. The next one is Pontifex has been redesigned. Flash Heal, Heal, Prayer of Healing, and Circle of Healing increases the healing done by your next Holy Word spell by 6%, stacking up to 5 times. So this could be decent if you went down this tree. I personally didn't, or I don't think it's as strong as others, but they obviously want players to play this more, which basically means if you use Flash Heal 5 times, then your next Serenity will be buffed by 30%. So it's fairly decent, and this could be viable in PvP. The next one is Lightwell has been redesigned. So basically, you place a Lightwell on the floor, and whenever your players get below 50% health, it will throw a heal at them and then add a renew as well. But the problem with Lightwell that I have, especially in solo shuffle, is that you put the Lightwell on the floor and your team has to be near it for it to heal you. But in solo shuffle, that's just never going to happen. Like, I could see Lightwell maybe being viable in 3v3 if you're on comms and you could tell your teammates to kite around the Lightwell, but it's just not a reality. If there was a way to kind of reposition Lightwell, like shamans can reposition their totems, then maybe it would be viable, but I really just can't see it being viable in PvP, and the healing isn't that great either. I suppose it could be good if you're in a really long CC chain and then Lightwell is like healing a little bit, but even then I don't think it's a good ability at all. All healing has been reduced by 7%. I really hate this change because I think this whole rework for Holy Priest has been focused on PvE and for them to have more AoE healing. And obviously AoE healing is not good in PvP. You want single target healing. So I really don't think they were considering PvP when they made this change. Following on, Holy Fire and Chastise have had their base mana reduced, which is pretty nice. Resonant Words now causes Holy Words to increase the healing done by your next Flash Heal, Prayer of Healing, and Circle of Healing by 20/40%. So this is also down the same road of Pontifex. So you could play this build where you Flash Heal 5 times and then you get a 30% boost Serenity, and then from the Resonant Words, your Serenity will increase the healing of your Flash Heal. So Resonant Words buffs your Flash Heal, and Pontifex buffs your Holy Words. So it's a nice little combination, but yeah, so that's probably definitely viable in PvP. Divine Word now increases the effectiveness of your next Holy Word spells by 30% towards 50%. So they nerfed Divine Word a little bit, the base buff healing. Casting Holy Word Chastise with Divine Word now increases damage dealt by 20% and refunds 15% from the cooldown of Holy Word Chastise. So this could be pretty nice. So basically this works quite nicely with MP Real Blaze. So say if you're in arena and you stun a kill target, then with Divine Word active, then your next 2 Holy Fires, which will be instant from MP Real Blaze, will also deal 20% extra damage. So that's pretty nice. And your Chastise will be even reduced. Their cooldown will be even more reduced. Casting Holy Word Sanctify with Divine Word active now blesses the target area and heals 5 targets. So if you play Divine Word, you're never going to be using it for Sanctify. So this is pretty much useless unless you're playing, I don't know, against Shadow Priest Affliction Warlock, where it's like you're all rotting. Can't see that being viable though. Casting Holy Word Serenity with Divine Word active no longer increases the critical strike chance of Flash, Heal, and Renew. So they nerfed it a little bit on Serenity as well. Healing Chorus now increases the healing of Circle. So anything to do with Circle of Healing is going to be garbage. You don't want to be playing this in Arena, in my opinion. Yep, so that's just a PvE change. Prayer Litany, this is Prayer of Healing. That's completely useless for PvP. Harmonious Apparatus has been renamed. Cool. Don't know why they did that. Voice of Harmony now causes Holy Nova to reduce the cooldown of Chastise in addition to Holy Fire. So this is quite nice. So say if your Chastise has, I don't know, 3 seconds left and you need it ASAP and you don't have time to cast a Holy Fire, then you could just Holy Nova and then it will reset the cooldown of Chastise. So that's pretty decent. Gales of Song is now 1 point talent with the values of the previous 2 point version. So this is nice. It just means that we get another talent to spend. Orison now has a connection to Pontifex. Not sure what this does. Oh, it's Circle of Healing related. So this is going to be invalid. Divine Service now has a connection to Say Your Prayers. This doesn't really change much. Empowered Renew and Rapid Recovery have been removed. I did play Rapid Recovery a little bit, so that's a bit of a shame that they've removed that, but Say Your Prayers is still really strong, so that's not a problem. And the final 3 rows have been redesigned. So in my opinion, most of these changes are PvE related, and a lot of them aren't really going to affect the way that you kind of play PvP, to be honest. I would say that the majority of your gameplay is going to be very much similar to last patch, but it does give you some options to play new builds. So like Resonant Words and Pontifex, they go together quite nicely. And I could see Divine Word maybe being viable in 2s. And maybe if you're playing 3s with Communication, Lightwell could be decent. But I'm going to move on to talents and give my opinion and share what talents I play. So basically, I don't play any of the new changes. So I don't play Lightwell, I don't play Divine Word, I don't play Resonant Words, Pontifex, don't play any of that. I play the same talents that I played last patch. So obviously you're going to need Miracle Worker. Apotheosis, super important. Desperate Times, really important. Voice of Harmony, very important. Divine Image, because that's just free healing. And then this is where it's a little controversial. I play Say Your Prayers and Epiphany. And the reason I play Prayer of Mending, Epiphany, and Say Your Prayers is because I think a lot of Holy Priests right now are underestimating how much Prayer of Mending heals. And so a lot of priests are not playing these, and they might play Light of the Naru for more CDR, and then maybe Lightwell, or maybe they won't play Lightwell and they'll play Divine Word. And they're kind of messing around with these, but I don't play this. I go with Prayer of Mending, and I'm going to tell you why. So when I did some test games, I found, like, for example, in this game, my Prayer of Mending healed 20, it was my top heal, and it healed 23.9% of my total healing. And I was facing a Holy Priest on this game that wasn't playing my build, and their Prayer of Mending healed 8.4%. So mine healed 3.12 million, and then theirs healed 1.26 million. And I found that these games, like, I'm consistently healing are above 20% with my Prayer of Mending, and whenever I face a Holy Priest, it's clear that my Prayer of Mending is healing a significant more amount than theirs. And so how Say Your Prayers and Epiphany works, so every time you press Prayer of Mending and you use something like Serenity, it has a chance to reset, like, so it just reset there. And it has a chance to reset on your Holy Word Sanctify, on your Serenity, and your Chastise. So whenever I press a Holy Word spell, I always make sure that my Prayer of Mending is on cooldown, just so it has a chance to reset. And Prayer of Mending is probably one of my most pressed spells. So I pressed 18 times here. Yeah, I press Prayer of Mending the most out of any other spell. So it's really important, and that's why I'm playing Say Your Prayers and Epiphany. I think the healing from Prayer of Mending is too strong to not play it, and especially if people are switching out to Light of the Naru and Lightwell. I really think Lightwell isn't good. I don't think it heals much at all. Your team walks away from it, and I feel like positioning is really situational in PvP. And it's really hard for you to be like, right, you need to stay near my Lightwell, because then that might put them in a really bad position throughout the whole game. They might tank more damage than they would otherwise. I think it's just a really bad talent for PvP. And also, I play Voice of Harmony, which is Prayer of Mending reduces the cooldown of Holy Word Serenity by 4 seconds. And obviously, when I'm playing Epiphany and Say Your Prayers, I'm going to be getting way more prayer mendings out than other priests. So in this game, for instance, they got 13 prayer mendings out and I got 21. So I'm getting 8 more prayer mendings out than the enemy priest. And that's because I am playing Epiphany. And every time I use a holy word spell, then it has a chance to reset. So yeah, this is the build that I'm playing. I really recommend that you try it out and let me know what you think. But I know a lot of people are really kind of experimenting a lot. I found that I have the most success in this build here. And I also think that it makes it less complicated as well than having to like play Divine Word as well. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my advice for the new patch. Let me know what you think. I know a lot of people are playing, I don't know, some like Circle of Healing builds, but I would really advise you not to mess around with Circle of Healing. I really don't think it's strong. And that if you want to try Pontifex and Resonant Words, then I would advise you go up this tree. Yeah, but I wouldn't advise you to play that anyway. And I'm going to link my build into the description as well. I am going to emphasize that on the left side of the tree, the talents that I kind of change and mess around with is Inspiration, Mental Agility, Body and Soul, Move with Grace, Void Tendrils, Protective Light, Impede Purify, and Spell Warding. So I change these talents literally every game. So when you copy my build, make sure that you are doing that as well. And also, if you are getting trained and you're dying a lot, then I will not play these. And then I would play something like this as well. So this way that you're getting Angelic Bulwark, which is like a shield, but usually I play with mind games. So that pretty much sums up my updated guide for patch 10.2.6. Please check out my stream because I'm streaming regularly now. So yeah, come and hang out with me. I'll leave all the links in the description and let me know what builds you're playing in the comments. Maybe I'm missing something and maybe there's something really OP at the moment and I just haven't found it yet. So please let me know what your opinions are. But this is my opinion for the best build in patch 10.2.6. So yeah, I hope you have a great day and I will see you in the next video.